I am off with my little equipment. Yes, it's a knife, a bag, and rubber gloves. Why? Because I'm off to pick skunk cabbage. I'm part of a study group for plants and pigments. And I've mentioned skunk cabbage as the first sign of spring. And they come up in these kind of red-violet, alien-looking pods, and then they quickly open up into beautiful, huge green leaves. Well, I mentioned it in my study group for pigments and from foraged plants. And the curiosity was, have I tried making any dye or pigment from them? No, I hadn't. So I want to get out there before all the red violet pods are gone, because next week I can easily try the dye from the green leaves, but I have to get the red pods before they disappear or transform. So that's where I'm off to, and I don't know, I'm kind of excited. Now, it will be stinky doing it. I didn't bring a mask because I don't think that would help. But, I never thought that I would be trying to make pigment out of skunk cabbage. That's what a study group can do for you. So we'll see what happens. I'm finding some amazing patterns and textures and even compositions along the way. I definitely enjoy walking with my neighbor Irene. However, there's something very special about walking alone, because then I can take the time to really look at what I'm discovering and what I'm seeing. Nature is marvelous. So I'm coming up to a tree that I noticed the other day on the walk with Irene, and I don't know that I can capture the essence of it, but it's a dead tree that I think has been really reformed by our local woodpeckers. I'll give this a try. Probably not doing a very good job at holding this steady. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm almost to the patch of skunk cabbage. Now there's skunk cabbage all over, but there is an area, kind of a swampy area, where the skunk cabbage is really abundant. So just a few steps away from that now. When foraging, I never want to take certainly don't want to take all of a plant, and I prefer to take only from where the plant is abundant and will continue to reproduce and spread, so that my foraging has not depleted the source. Okay, here we are. Now you may not see it at first, but you will in a moment. Among the trash. So, here it is. Now, this one has already turned green. Okay. This one is the bright, well, it's not real bright, but the red violet I was talking about. And then this one is in the stage of turning. And that one is pretty red violet. So I will be taking the red violet ones. Okay, because they're so stinky, I'm wearing gloves, okay, because I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of the smell from my hands. All right, that should definitely be enough to find out what I can do in terms of obtaining pigment from skunk cabbage in the red stage. Okay, headed home to put my skunk cabbage in a big vat. I'm going to use the aluminum pot, so that may make a difference. I don't know. I will pour boiling water on top and let it steep, and then crush it up a little bit. We'll see what I get. Just look at that beautiful line. So here is the next stage of skunk cabbage. Those alien things open up into leaves, and these leaves will get much, much larger. I think it's at the point of the skunk cabbage having large leaves that they get to be so stinky. I didn't notice any nasty smell as I was cutting them. I also did not dig for any roots, so that would be my next test to see if I can extract any color to make into pigment or to dye from the roots. I will jab at these, crush them up. Hopefully they'll release more dye. I still have another pot of hot water to add, and then I'm going to let this steep for 24 hours. It seems as if some color's coming out. Certainly isn't clear water anymore. Definitely a purplish hue is coming out into the water. Mashing them definitely is making a difference. Look at how dark it's gotten now. It's purpley, but it's also not a bright purple because there's a lot of green going into it too. Now, chemically, I have no idea. This is going to be an interesting experiment. So this is the skunk cabbage that was purple. I added a really hefty amount of distilled white vinegar to it, turned it this beautiful rosy color, and now I'm adding the alum. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's turning it a cooler pink. Lovely color. So now we're headed back toward the purple. Don't know if this is going to lake, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not even sure that this is washing soda, but we'll find out. I think it is. It's definitely starting to lake. I've just made a little bit more and we'll see what happens. Okay, just a tiny bit more because I don't want it to go green. Definitely starting to lake, and it still is a lovely color. Will I get enough sediment? Maybe a wee touch more? It's a little scary. Okay, I'm seeing a touch of green. That I don't want. So this is as far as I want to go with it. I'll see what happens. Second batch, I'm adding a lot of alum to it. Again, it's turning back toward a violet. And then I will add the washing soda in just a little bit. All right, here goes the washing soda. I find that exciting. So my question is, that is starting to lake. At what point can I stop it? I mean, that is a gorgeous color. Did it lake enough? I don't think so. I've got to be so careful. Still pretty nice color. I'm going to see if it's going to lake at all. I can always add more later. Okay, so on the right is the first batch. You can see that's laking nicely. On the left is the second batch that I did not bring to the right pH, but it was foaming and I was hoping to get just a little bit. I think I'm going to have to lake that one again. Okay, batch number 3 gets alum. Such nice colors. I'm going to stir that around for a bit. Let that mix. And then I'll add the washing soda dilution. All right, time to add the sodium carbonate. That's what washing soda is. It's simply sodium carbonate. Here we go. This time I want it to lake a little bit more strongly. But I have to be careful that I don't go too far, or it will start to turn green. When it starts to fizz, it means it's doing what it should be doing. Now before, the second batch that I made did not fizz. So I'm going to stop this one right here at the fizz stage. Pour this into the jar and see if this will lake. And then I'll go to the last batch. The batch that was I put out in a pot to dry in the sun and evaporate a little bit, and it just really lost its purple and just turned brown. Here's the state of the first two, and you can see at the very bottom there is a tiny bit laking, just a tiny bit. The first batch is nicely laked. The third batch is laking very nicely. The second batch is not. What I'll do is, as soon as I'm done with this fourth batch, I will pour this to filter it, and I'll lake the rest of it. All right, this is the batch that was out in the pot in the sun. I see it's not very purple at all. So you know that this is not going to be a very light, fast pigment. But I think it's just fun making pigment out of skunk cabbage. Okay, so here goes the vinegar. That certainly helped bring back a bit of the rosy hue. Let's check this out. This could be a nice color. Okay, and then the alum. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for just a bit. Mix it in. I do want this to lake. Getting to be a nice pink again. Okay, time to guess at the sodium carbonate. It's very hot. Ouch, probably put too much in. It's very hot. Oh, here comes some foam. I think it's going to be a kind of a violet gray, which is fine. I don't mind grays. I don't want it to go green if I can help it. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. In fact, I think I'm going to add a little more vinegar. Quite a bit more vinegar. Somehow, I think that that's going to lake. That might be my skunk cabbage gray. So now back to this one. We'll see what I can get out of that. I am very happy with that. You can see the pink changing to the gray. The top one is now almost completely changed to gray. These are from the same pot, this pot. I just applied this one before I thought of filming it to share with you the change in real time. But I think you get the idea. This is now, okay, I'm going to stop it at 4 minutes and then I'll show you a photo when they're dry. So that's 4 minutes.